in the parque there, the linear park. But I'll stop at Pollo Feliz. Always stop Pollo Feliz, have some delicious pollo. Continue on up Calle Arizona to Cuadero, and then I'll wind around and get on to Avenida Bermudez to Ruta Dos, basically. It connects, but I get on Ruta Dos and I head down start heading east and south toward San Agustin on Ruta Dos. It is congested, a lot of city traffic, but because I'm very visible on my CruzBike, and I follow the rules. The motorists are extremely cautious, very kind and courteous, more so in Mexico than in the USA. That I continue on towards San Agustin on Ruta Dos. If the museo is open, I'll stop in there. Depending on time of day, I'll have coffee with them if they're open. And I have camped out there at San Agustin in the basketball court that's immediately in front of the museo. Continue on, I go to Reforma. I've camped out at the park in Reforma. Continue on. You're very close to the newest bridge across between Caseta and Tornillo. Sometimes I will cross over. I don't always. On the International Fort Hancock Left I-10 bicycle bypass. But I've camped out in Caseta. Then I continue on toward Paradis Giguero. Great stops there to get food. Then on toward El Porvenir. I have eaten in El Porvenir. I'm looking forward to camping there at some point. But a lot of times I don't, because from there I go to across the river at the Fort Hancock International Port of Entry. The Fort Hancock El Porvenir Port of Entry. This is an important port of entry because it is the last bridge of historical significance that's built the way the original bridges were built across the Rio Bravo, Rio Grande. Of course, I go up into Fort Hancock. I love staying. I almost always stay at the best motel there, which is up close to where Interstate 10 and Knox Boulevard intersect. Knox Boulevard junctions off of Texas 20, Alameda, also known as Alameda Street. And it goes uphill to where it junctions with Interstate 10. But that's also where the best motel, it's the only motel, in Fort Hancock. I love staying there because all I have to do is walk across the road to Angie's Diner. Superb food and eat. And cash only, but still well worth it. If you're shy on cash, there is an ATM at the Shell station, which is adjacent to Angie's. But for any person who is, especially if you're bicycling, you need to be refreshed. If you're headed coming from the east on Interstate 10, which would have been from Sierra Blanca, or you're coming from the west, which means the next place, you got to go up. There is a station with food at exit 76 But last time I pedaled through there, it was closed. Generally, they are open 24 hours a day. But anyway, you need to get refreshed, eat, bottle up, obviously. Here at Angie's Diner and the Best Motel. There's also Sarte Grocery, which is a great place to get goods to go. That you want to buy dry goods, more bottled water, juice, stuff like that. It is a dry goods store. Highly recommended going to Sarte Grocery. And so and then from there, getting on, continuing. Now you go the opposite direction on Texas 20, Alameda Street, going toward Alarcon, which is nothing. There's nothing there that's open, just a sign. But you eventually will get to Tornillo. Tornillo does have an eatery in it, does have a little gas grocery store. But then continue from there, 6 miles on, you're in Fabens. Fabens is a fabulous stop. I've overnighted in Fabens. You'll pass on the way when when you're going up from Fort Hancock, you're in Hudspeth County. The road is not that great. There is no shoulder. Fortunately, there's not a whole lot of traffic either, and it is largely it's mostly in the floodplain. But as soon as you get it, you'll cross into El Paso County. Wonderful shoulder now on Texas 20. You go Tornillo, the Fabens, but before you get just right at the Hudspeth, close to the Hudspeth El Paso County line, is Cottonwood Corner. Sadly, the cottonwood trees do not exist there anymore. There were 3, and they've gone downhill. I've camped there on those beautiful cottonwoods. It does not exist anymore. It's a pullout now. That's all that is. But anyway, going on to Fabens, and then from Fabens, that is where you will diverge from Texas 20 to 258, just on the western edge of Fabens and Texas 20. There is a road, 258, which goes to San Eli. Take that road. It's about 10 miles, 16 clicks to San Eli. San Eli is a wonderful, wonderful community. Very historic, first county seat of El Paso. Still on the International Fort Hancock Las Cruces I-10 bicycle bypass. And just continue along Mission Trail. You see the other, you have the San Eli Mission. There's also a mission back at Fort Hancock. Does not exist except for some cement, some of the brick, because it has long since left Earth. Anyway, continue on the Mission Trail and the San Eli is a Presidio, not a mission. There's a difference. Presidio was for the military. The missions, and the next one after that is Socorro Mission on the Mission Trail,